Welcome. I'm your host, Dustin. We're here for another interview for our Within the Barrens segment. And we have Erick Lorinc? Lorinc?
Lor Lawrence. It's not
Oh,
spelled that way.
I'm I'm awful at names, so it's always
Well, it's
funny.
not spelled how it sounds, so it's
Yeah.
nobody's fault.
Erick Lawrence. Yeah, that is really,
Yeah,
really funny. That's cool though.
yeah.
It's very unique, and I like that. And I've had a lot of guests on here with really unique names, so they just
That
keep
makes
coming.
sense.
How you been?
I've been good. The busy up to oh my gosh, there's just so much. There's like lots of random different things going on,
That's
which
all
is
good.
like I'm because I've been production assistant on some like big network stuff, but I'm still trying to do my own shorts and scripts and all that. It's such a mess.
Hey, you're keeping busy, and that's all
Yeah.
that we really can do now because after being shut down in the world for about a year and a half to 2 years, and finally being able to go out and do things, I imagine it probably feels really good to be out and about and not stuck in your house or wherever you were before.
It's a mixed bag because I also like I'm a homebody in general.
Same.
Like I caught up on so many movies and it was I actually kind of I didn't have a great pandemic like obviously, but I don't know. I was watching like 8 movies a day at one point. It was pretty
Damn!
it
Wow.
was it was really fun. I like that's what I like to and I love watching movies just by myself and quiet.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know. I had a good time.
yeah, that's what I was doing too. Is mainly watching movies. I mean, I had a job, but the hours were like severely reduced, so I had a lot of
Yeah.
extra time. And obviously, doing a podcast is where it kind of like stemmed from. I started this during all that, and it's been a ride ever since. And for those of our listeners who are not familiar, you are the writer and director of The Last Thanksgiving, which is I think
Oh.
your biggest credit. So
Yeah, so far. Yeah.
and also, where I saw it was during Salem Horror Fest, which was fucking
Amazing
awesome.
festival. They're so great.
Yeah.
Best festival,
So I wanted
hands
to
down.
ask you, before we jump into all the other stuff, what was it like, being on a festival on that scale, even though it's a lot bigger now than I think it was when
It's
you
getting it
when you
gets
were in it.
so much bigger every year. It's like good for them because they very much deserve it. They're a great organization and Kay's fantastic, obviously.
I love Kay.
And
She's amazing.
she's amazing. The I mean that was great. Definitely the biggest festival we got into. And I think we got in not just cause, but there was there's like queer elements in the movie and there's
Yeah.
queer character and they're always looking for that. And I think that's why we eventually got picked, which was cool. And it was just great. I met so many cool filmmakers through that and a bunch of them I keep in touch with. One of them, the one of the guys who made Threshold, he took me to see RRR with him.
Oh,
And that
nice.
was what a good time. It was so I'm the best festival experience I've had. Loved
Yeah.
it.
It was great. It was definitely of that year. It was a movie that because there was so many to pick from, and it was during I think it was the all online one too during the pandemic because this was
Yeah,
a 2020 movie. So like there was so many to pick through, and I think during that time, because it was on the weekends, and that's when I was mainly working, I believe, and then some of the hours or whatnot when some of the movies came out, I had to really pick and choose what I wanted to watch, and I was just reading through all the descriptions and seeing if there was like lists of the actors or whoever it was, if there's anybody like knew of, and of course I think on this one, Linnea Quigley was listed on it, and
yeah.
so that's not the main reason why I got drawn to the film, but I mean that was definitely an aspect, but
It's a
also
sell, and she was in Drop Dead Gorgeous as
yeah,
well, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
that was at the
Brandon, all
same
them. Yeah,
time.
really good friends of ours. I'm located in Massachusetts, so they're like very, very
Oh, well,
close. And I just had pretty much the whole crew of them on here too, about a month or two back.
that's right. I saw.
Yeah, and they're just so amazing.
They're really
And
nice. I keep in touch with Brandon sometimes, and we're all on Twitter. And
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
they're awesome people. For anybody who hasn't seen that movie, you need to watch it as well. It's on Shudder. And also, if you haven't seen Last Thanksgiving, you need to watch it because you can rent it and you can own it.
oh, it's on Tubi for free.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
easy.
That's awesome that you're on the streaming services. We just got to get you on Shutter.
That's okay. Maybe the next one.
Yeah.
Uh,
So one of the other reasons and draws that really brought me to this was a Thanksgiving slasher. The only one I can think of that's loosely tied on Thanksgiving would be Blood Rage. I can't think of any, and like Thanksgiving as well, but like an actual like
like
slasher that's holiday themed and Thanksgiving. There's not too many of them, so that's why I was
I
like, I
know
need
Eli
to
Roth
watch
really
this.
needs to make his. Everybody wants it. Remember that the fake trailer from Grindhouse?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They should make it. It'd be really good, and everybody wants it.
Yeah, and this
With
this is
the
such a fun film too. Just all the
yes.
characters. It's a balance of comedy and horror and just really crazy kills, which I will be asking you about. But I always like to kind of take it back to the beginning with all the people that I talked to. It's like, where did filmmaking and writing kind of start with you? Was it as like an early age, or did it kind of come about later in life?
Oh, forever. Like since I was a kid, I've always been interested in horror movies, and I think interested in wanting to make them. When did Freddy versus Jason's DVD? That came out in 2004ish. I think 2004 was like I would like to make movies now, please, because I was 9, 8, 8 or 9, and like
Okay.
the making ofs on DVDs back then were so good. Freddy versus Jason had a great one. Final Destination 3 had like 3 hours of making of, and then 100 Scariest Movie Moments on Bravo came out in 2004, and like just it seemed like everybody in the world thought movies were so cool and beautiful. Watched them all the time. So like I'd be like 4 or 3 years old. She'd be watching The Exorcist, and she'd be like, "Yeah, whatever, you can watch it." And so I just I just watched so many movies. So I've been into it forever. And then I would make shorts with my high school friends and that whole thing. Yeah.
And it's kind of spawned from there, so that's awesome. It's always cool to hear at what age people started getting into horror movies. And it I was always into horror movies when I was younger, but it really took me a long time to break out of my shell, and now I'm just obsessed with them. So I always like to know where people started and like what was that one movie that sparked it all. And it seemed like it was Freddy versus Jason for you, which is definitely a good one.
I was
um
just really excited for it. I'd already liked horror movies. It was just that there was the DVD being as packed as it was
yeah.
what did it. Because I'd already seen, by the time that came out, I'd seen the Child's Plays. That was my first Freddy or Jason movie, though. I remember that because there was that montage of like all of Freddy's stuff at the beginning of that movie.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I got to see all of those. And they were all at Blockbuster, and I saw all of them right after.
Yeah, that's a really good one. So kind of tie into that question as well. What is your favorite horror movie if you had to pick one?
It changes every 2 years ish.
Oh,
Right now, I'm of the mind that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the best movie ever made. That's just kind of where I've drifted recently, because it is. Uh, and so that's it.
yeah, it's very very good. I know that we had the new one that came out, which I do have kind of mixed feelings about. But yeah, all the Texas Chainsaw Massacres are good in their own way. But the
Mm-hmm.
original one definitely.
The original ones, there's maybe 5 of them that I genuinely love, but that first one's just like a perfect movie. It's
Oh
insane
yeah,
how perfect it is.
Toby Hooper definitely, you know, uh, uh, horror master and writer,
Yeah.
like hands down. Um, and now another thing that I want to kind of ask you about,
Ooh.
because every time I watch this movie, I'm always just like, how did they do this? The dishwasher kill.
Oh,
So, what was the process of going through and doing that one? Because of all the movies I have seen, all the kills I have seen, I've never seen someone get killed in a dishwasher, and it was awesome.
oh, well, that's very kind. The So I've had 2 jobs where I've worked with those dishwashers. I worked in the kitchen of a pizza restaurant, And at the camp, I camp council every summer for like the last 8 years now, and there's one of those there too. And it initially came up because I wrote a Friday the 13th script, and that had the
Oh.
dishwasher kill in it, and then I realized like, there's a very likely chance you're never going to be the one who makes a Friday the 13th. There's just so many people want to do it, but I have a script and it's really good. So, but the
Hey, yeah, hit up Erick. Come on.
yeah, and there's new kills in that one's place. So when I was writing this script, I took that kill and put it in there because I figured any restaurant we filmed at would have one, and I was right. And it was just I don't know, it was pretty simple because like you don't even see it chop the neck; it's all editing. You see the head after, and you see Linnea Quigley go into the dishwasher, which she was so game and nice. We had her for 3 days, and she was just like down for anything. It's wonderful, wonderful woman. And she's so little. She big fan, very big fan. So that was exciting. And she lived an hour and a half away. I think I drove and brought her down at
Oh,
the time
wow.
because we were at the University of Miami and she was in Florida at the time. It was
Wow,
easy.
so it all just kind of fell into place. So that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see her kind of show up on these lower budget films as well, because I mean, she was in like lower budgets in the 80s and whatnot, a lot of like slashers. So see her kind of still in that world of like the close knit low budget horror movies, and also helping out all like these newer filmmakers like yourself is really really cool to kind of see the torches can be passed down from all the people that we looked up to, growing up, and having them in your film. Like, wow. I don't know what I would do if I was writing a movie and Linnea Quigley was like, yeah, I want to be in that. Or like, if Barbara Crampton was like, yeah, I want to be in your film. I think
I'd be the same.
I would die.
Yeah, she was wonderful. It was really easy because I wrote that part and I was like, ideally Linnea Quigley would do it because I figured she would. I'd just seen her in The Barn, I think right before I wrote the script, the Justin Siemens movie, and the yeah, I just kind of figured she'd do it, and I sent her a Facebook message, and it was run by her manager, whoever was working for her, and yeah, we just paid her, and she did it, and it was great. She's so nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, Now, out of all of the wacky kills and stuff that happens throughout the film, was there
Mhm.
one that you enjoyed filming or creating and or writing the most?
I think it's different because like things didn't come out exactly how it was. We were mostly still in undergrad when we made this, and it was just like making this movie was ridiculously difficult. But so writing, I was probably most excited about the gravy pit because I thought we could actually build one at the time.
Yeah.
And then actually filming, we had a makeup guy who did a few things, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. And but I liked the whisk in the eye because that was all me, and so I got to be proud of it because it was like it's just something I did. Yeah, so I think that one was the thing. Well, I guess the splitting head came out really cool though.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know.
so many. I mean, I'm gonna be that guy and to say the dishwasher one I think is probably the best because it's just so funny and
Yeah,
it's just
I
so out there.
it's the best. That whole 15, like there's parts of the movies there are parts of the movie that I really like and am proud of, and there's parts that are hard for me to watch because either they aren't because of my fault aren't great, or they're just not what I wanted, or they were changed too much. But there's like a 15-minute chunk where they're like running they're all in the kitchen and she gets dishwashed like that through the movie theater stuff. I'm all really proud of. I
Yeah,
think a lot of that came out really well.
yeah, that's really good too. I love the going back to the movie theater multiple times, wanting to kind of do like the dialogue and meet other characters, and then the crazy shit that happens throughout that is really really cool. Um, But everything in the restaurant, I think, is just so brilliantly done. Just because I've been in the restaurant business for a while too, and I relate to it so much because you see customers that are like that, like Linnea, who's just like, I just don't want to leave or anything like that, or coming at the very last minute, and just like, God damn it, you know. And then all the banter in the back room with the cooks and whatnot. It's really funny because of how relatable it is, and that's why I always kind of go back to this movie too. I watch it a lot. um,
That's interesting.
yeah, I love this movie. It's so
Oh,
good, and and I need more people to watch it. Um, and that's another reason why I like doing the show and bringing on people like
uh-huh.
you, and to kind of like highlight these films and so other people can know your works. And I know that you were in the festival circuit, and now it is being on streaming services, and you can rent it, you can buy it, you can stream it on Tubi, wherever you want to do it. And it's definitely a film that needs to be watched at least once, especially if you're going out there and looking for holiday slashers. I know it's one thing that a lot of people look for is like, what's new in the holiday world of slashers, and we don't really get too many of them. But this one is definitely one that I hold pretty high, just because I love low budget indie films, and this is definitely one that I do look up to a lot, and it's super
I thought you were
fun.
gonna say, I thought you were gonna say this is definitely low budget. This is what people have.
Oh, it is definitely low budget, but I mean, like
Bless its heart.
you don't hide it. You don't hide it at all, and that's the beauty of it. Is like when films like are low budget, but they try to come off as like a high budget film, and they want to not make it seem like it's low budget or anything. I think that's a
Yeah.
little tacky. I like it when writers and directors like yourself and actors and whoever else is part of a movie don't hide what's going on, and you kind of just embrace it. I feel like you have more fun that way.
You do
Um,
well, and that was a big point in making it. Was one, a lot of people tell you when you make like a low budget, no budget movie, like just put it in a room and make the best movie you can just in a room. That's always so boring,
yeah.
and I don't like it. So we definitely tried to be a bit ambitious, and I don't know. A lot of the things people do to make their stuff seem bigger budgeted than it is like, let's do lots of close-ups and it's all shallow focus,
Hmm.
and then you don't have a sense of location, a sense of place, a sense of you lose a lot when you're trying to cheat like that. So I
Yeah, and
avoid that.
this film's got a couple locations, and they all feel so unique, and I feel like everything is established correctly. That the way characters are introduced and how they're built upon is really really good. You do a really good job of like character building, with them only being on screen for a certain amount of time, and for how quick this movie is, because it's very fast
Yeah,
paced.
it's without the credits. It's like 68 minutes long.
Yeah, it's
It's really
super
short.
fast paced.
Yeah.
It's great, and like everybody who worked on it, like huge props to everybody. And I want to see more from you, so that leads me to my next question. I know you're saying that you're doing some work on other films and you're working on shorts. But is there anything else that we could be looking out for from you?
Not necessarily looking right now. I think the only thing I've actually filmed since it's out, like some shorts for my YouTube channel that are all just silly with my friends in Tennessee. And at the last 2 years at camp counseling, I've made like little movies with the kids. This
That's
year's came
awesome.
out to be 26 minutes, which is very long. It wasn't supposed to, but there's always like a moss monster getting the kids at the camp.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
but in actually like trying to make something, I have a bunch of feature screenplays I'm sitting on. I really got to figure out how to get them out there. But there was one I filmed the opening of it 3 weeks ago with and like put some actual money into it,
Oh,
all the
nice.
all the money I had, and hopefully we shot it on film too, and so I don't even know what it looks like yet. Um, so I'm hopefully getting that footage back in a weekish. Very nervous about that, but we filmed it, and hopefully that's very good and will be used to get financing for another feature. It's another slasher movie, so that would be good because I really like that script and it's very gory
Oh,
and
I am excited. I'm
yeah,
excited.
I really hope it gets made. And it's good. It would have some of the same. The the girl who plays Trudy in The Last Thanksgiving, the like punky, not goth, whatever she is.
Yeah,
She went to where did they go? They went to UCLA for cinematography, and now she's like this great cinematographer, and
that's
she
awesome.
shot it, and it's yeah, hopefully that came out good, and we'll see a slasher movie late next year. That would be fun
That's
if someone
awesome.
finances
And
it.
you said you're doing it on film? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
We shot it
do
on Super 16.
did you do the last Thanksgiving in film? Was that all digital?
No, no. It was all with the University of Miami's like we got like one digital camera. And
Oh, okay, okay.
we kept that budget as low as we could. It
All right.
was yeah, because God, just shooting on film this last for 3 rolls and renting out the camera and now getting processed. That's all like $4,000
Wow.
for this last, and that's like a substantial amount of the last Thanksgiving's total budget.
Wow.
Uh, so yeah, it couldn't happen though.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that you get what you're looking for financing and whatnot, because I want to see it happen.
I hope so too.
And if people don't want to fund it, we'll find a way to get that funded, because I do want to see some more stuff from you.
It'd be fun. Like, yeah, last resort is Kickstarter, which that's just like a full-time job though. I really didn't want to have to do Kickstarter. So I'm hoping somebody will
Yeah.
finance it.
Well,
We'll
whoever's
see.
listening, if you want to finance a new slasher,
Mm-hmm.
here we go. Go
Pretty
reach out to Erick.
good.
Ah,
Pretty good. I'll have a scene ready and you'll see it and you'll say, wow, this looks really good. It'll definitely make money.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Shorts and everything. That's really really cool. And one thing I've always talked about and kind of made people around me sort of understand is like growing up, people in my family and like my friend circles, every time I would like find a short somewhere and I would show it to them, they'd be like, "Yeah, that kind of sucks. It's not important. I want to see like a full length." But to me, I think if you're able to produce a short film and say it's like a 5 minute short, right? And you have like 5 or 6 characters in it, which I have seen, and you're able to move through all of those characters and get your story and everything out in 5 minutes, I think that is so important. And shorts are very important in any kind of genre that you're filming in. So for you to have shorts underneath your belt and able to move through storylines and whatnot in a timely manner, and also seeing what you can do on the last Thanksgiving, I think you're definitely on a road of becoming a very very good writer and director, just going up even more. So I'm really excited.
That's nice. I hope so. And it's like God, we filmed The Last Thanksgiving like 5 years ago now. And I definitely in the scripts I've written since then and everything else, it definitely feels a lot better
Yeah.
in that. Yeah, so hopefully all works out.
Well, let's hope that your next movie can get funded so you can get it on Salem Horror Fest again.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to. Oh, I miss them. I that was so much fun to be a part of.
I know Kay would definitely have you back, and I know your movie got a lot of good feedback during it too. And I think I actually no, we did review it on the show. So I think it was last year around Thanksgiving. I think we actually did review The Last Thanksgiving. I think we gave it like it was either a 9 or a 10 out of 10. So
That's
good on you.
really high.
I think that's what we gave it. Like I said, I'm a sucker for low budget indie films.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what it is. um yeah, and I am too. You can always tell when people put work in and when they haven't necessarily.
Yeah.
There's a charm in the indie low budget thing you don't get in a lot of stuff.
um, since there's a lot of other crazy scenes, like there is a lot of kills in this film, do you have a favorite scene? There's a lot.
I have the movie theater chase where the buddy gets got and the blood hits the projector and it makes
Oh
the movie
yeah.
red. I'm proud of that. That came out cool. And that was just a fun. It's probably my favorite shoot day. We only had 3 people on the crew that day, so it was very run and gun, and it was less stressful than usual. and it was at the University of Miami. There was a movie theater on campus,
Oh wow.
and they let us film in that for, I think we had 4 hours to do everything that was in the movie theater. So like them talking at the beginning and then the chase and all of that. And we were supposed to get charged $300, but then they never charged us, which was nice.
Oh, nice. What's this? I'm gonna erase that so no one hears that.
Sorry, it was so long ago now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. That would be really funny though if they reached out to you, like, yeah. So where's that money? Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, I think that part came out really good. It feels big, and just like her running through town and through a movie theater and through like other stuff, it makes the movie feel bigger, which I like. And then we tried really hard to make it feel bigger.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick, it'd probably be the dinner scene plus like the gravy pit, because I think the effects there and just like all the banter between all the characters is so good, so good.
The dinner scene does have that montage of all the past Thanksgivings, and I like that bit a lot.
Yeah,
I think the half-second death where someone gets like a pumpkin jammed on their head.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
That's me with the pumpkin on my head.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need to rewatch this after this now. It's definitely long overdue.
Yeah.
Another question is, what made you want to do a Thanksgiving themed slasher?
That was pretty easy because so initially I had a completely different script, and I was like, I wanted to make a movie right as I graduated college, so I'd have something to be like, hey, look at me. And the first script I had was too ambitious, and there were too many monsters, and parts of it were just plain bad. And so when I was quickly trying to be like, what do I do instead? I figured, because there's only maybe 6 Thanksgiving-y horror things.
Yeah, it's not
Especially
many.
since at the same time as our movie came out, that Into the Dark Pilgrim came out, which was so stressful because they did the whole dinner thing and they were like, oh, we're basically pilgrims. And I said, oh no, but we filmed ours first.
Yes.
But that's a great Into the Dark though. But I just figured somebody would watch it every year, so there'd at least be some continuous play and relevancy. Because if I did a Christmas or a Halloween, there's so many movies that are set on Christmas or Halloween, especially indie wise. Like people are making a low budget movie set on Halloween.
Yeah.
All the time. The Barn 2 is coming out this year. It just keeps happening. But yeah, nobody's doing Thanksgivings. I figured people would watch it. And there's just like a lot you can do with that, because I wanted to make sure it was like it wasn't just set on Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving played directly into the plot and some of the deaths, and it felt very untapped. So I wrote it pretty quick. It was like in 1 month. That first draft was done.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then I did a couple of rewrites right after, and then another one right before and during the shoot, because like so many things happened during that. It was ridiculous. Like half the third act was shot on, not half the third act, like a fifth or a sixth of the third act was shot in the last day. But one of the actors slept through that day.
Oh,
and so
wow.
I had to rewrite a good amount of the third act, so it made sense why a character just kind of left and came back at the end. And yeah, so stuff like that happened throughout. So lots of rewrites and that. But it was Thanksgiving. That part was easy. Writing it was easy and fun. And Intruder was a very big basis because I like the workplace.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
It is such a good movie. It's a great movie. And so that was the basis for a lot of it.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that too, because Intruder's kind of getting this whole new like uprising of becoming this huge like cult film.
Oh, good.
And it's good because now it's on Shudder and a lot more people are talking about it. I first saw Intruder maybe 3 or 4 years ago, so it took me a while to get to it. But yeah, it's kind of awesome that a movie like that it inspired you to do a movie like this, because I can really see the influences now that you say that. Yeah, definitely.
No, it was a big, it was a big. part of it. And I love that movie. Ever since I think back in 2006, 7, 8, middle school for me was like they would have montages on YouTube of like cool death scenes from horror movies. And some from Intruder always came up. So I watched Intruder pretty 15 years ago, and it just like I watch it so often. All of those guys who worked on Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2, I
Yeah.
just it keeps, yeah, amazing.
I know that you were talking about other holidays and whatnot, how it's very very packed with other holiday horror movies.
Mostly just Halloween and
Yeah.
Christmas.
But if there was a holiday that you would like to highlight in a horror movie, what would you pick? What would be your next holiday to tackle?
I mean, I have 2 screenplays set on Halloween, which is funny because I just ragged on it, but I have 2 and they're both really good. One of them's a kids movie and I really want to make it because it's still very scary. I love kids horror movies. They're and it's good. It's a big monster Halloween. I don't want to say too much, but it's good. They're both good. And the other one's my dream movie that I want to make more than any other movie in the entire world. So I guess ideally would like to make those, but I don't know, there's so many holidays. And like if someone was like gave me the job, they're like, Eric, we are hiring you to make a movie set on Arbor Day. I would get so into it and a bunch of ideas would come. So I would fuck with any holiday. Oh, I guess Halloween's the biggie.
All right, let's do it. Let's make you the holiday slasher king over here.
Let's no, that doesn't need to happen. That's too many. I want to do other stuff. I want to do other things. Do other things.
Oh man. So that's cool that you're working on like some other projects. You're doing some more shorts. You're hoping to get this next film out. Trying to think if there was like anything else big that I wanted to ask you regarding this movie. I guess it would be the big guy who was on the cover, the main slasher guy.
Yeah.
So what was your influence on wanting to do that, other than like giving it like an homage to Pilgrims and stuff? Was there another reason why you wanted him to be masked up the whole time?
We just don't get it as much anymore, and I miss it. The more masks, the better, to be honest. Like, I don't know, I miss it. So it was in there. There was no reason really outside of that.
Yeah, okay.
And I think of it, we were supposed to see his face more at the end. You only see like half a second of it, but then I didn't like the makeup. So the mask went right back on. Yeah, that was about it. Because it played out a lot like the Funhouse, where like he has the mask the whole time.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's like big scary face. And, and
That's
even the
really
one
great.
glimpse, I digitally did a lot of finagling to make it even weirder. It's 4 frames. There's 4 frames of his face in it.
Wow.
But yeah, because I remember I lowered the eye, added some red, and did some other stuff.
Yeah, it's a great film, like I said, and it's one that I think everybody needs to go and watch at least once. If you haven't heard of it, you're hearing about it right now, and Eric, you did such a great job on it, and
oh my god,
and the whole cast and crew. I think everybody really put all that they really could into it, and I'm very very excited for your new projects, and I didn't know you had a YouTube channel, so I need to go check that out now.
Oh, it's weird because it's like a mix of just anything I've done, so maybe I don't know, tread lightly. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff all the way from, it's mostly stuff I did in high school. Lots of fake trailers, and yeah, I don't know, some of them are fun.
Yeah, I'll make sure to be linking that in the bio as well, because I'm going to be checking it out, and I want everybody else to check out your work other than this movie and whatnot. And I'm very very excited for your future. And once you get anything else further on your new film, let me know, and I'll get you on here and we can talk about it.
Oh, I'll let you know.
Oh, and I'm very very excited to see that. I think that's pretty much all the questions I had for you. Was there anything you wanted to ask me? Because sometimes I have guests that come on and have weird questions. So if there's anything you wanted to ask me, I'll open up the floor for you.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
You don't have to. No pressure.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't
It's
know.
all good.
Are the yeah.
No, we can
I
skip
don't
on
know.
it. No, don't worry about it.
Oh
Just
gosh.
sometimes
I don't know.
they have ones they want to ask me, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Because
Do you
they're
have
always
any
like, well, you're the one who's
shorts or
interviewing me,
movies?
so now I gotta ask you a question. I'm just like, oh god, here we go. But it's all good.
We can say, do you have any shorts or anything like that you've ever done? Is that
I haven't made anything, but I actually just made well, I'm in a movie with a friend who also had a film that was featured in Salem Horror Fest.
which one?
It was last year. His movie was Caucasoid, and it was a Massachusetts based film. He's a local filmmaker, very, 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 very low budget. He does everything himself. I think the
Good.
budget would probably be even smaller than last Thanksgiving. I think he said he only put maybe like $1,000 into it, maybe even
Oh
less
yeah.
than that. So
Yeah,
he's
that's
doing
less.
a new movie that's sort of a slasher psychological thriller that's going to be coming out. I think he's aiming for this year, called Sweet Relief. And my ex co-host who actually had to step down from being on the show to pursue his passion. We're in that one, just in this set that you see here. He just filmed us as we are. So that
Oh,
should be coming out.
that's fun.
Yeah, so it was really really cool to kind of be in a film, because I'm always talking about films and talking to other people like you who do films. So being part of that is always really really cool, and kind of getting inside info on like how a film is made. Because that was always kind of a dream of mine. It wasn't really something that I was aiming for. For the show, it was kind of this like fun. Let's just talk about some movies and talk to some other people. But now opportunities are showing, and it's really really cool to see where something as small as our show can bring you. So like talking to you is awesome. You had a very
Oh,
small movie, and but you are important to people like us because you are out there. You're making a product for people to watch, and love or hate, and whatever it may be. Someone's watching it.
yeah.
There's always that one guy.
There's definitely been some people who've hated it.
Yeah, you know what? Screw them. They don't know what
Yeah.
real film is. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's such a fun film, and it was awesome. Bringing you on here, and talking to you. And I definitely want to talk to you more in the future. And I always
Yeah.
extend this out to any of our guests, whether it be a director, writer, actor, anything. Whenever we review movies, which we are bringing back. I think we're starting to bring back movie reviews next week, but I have a whole list of movies for the rest of the year. And if it's something that you'd be interested in and you would want to come on and just talk about a film, I can send you the list, and you can go from there.
Ooh. I'm always down to talk about movies.
All right.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Yes, I will definitely send you that list. It's awesome to speak to you and kind of learn a little bit more about this film. And like I said, I really want to talk to you again when your next film or anything that you do really comes to fruition for you, so we can get it out there so everybody knows. So, Eric, this was awesome talking to you. I wish I had more questions. I always feel like I don't have enough. But then I look back and then listen to the episodes later. I'm just like, wow, I actually kind of had a lot of questions.
Well, it was great being here, and I love talking with you as well. This is very fun, and thank you for being so kind and nice.
Yeah, of course. I don't want to, be that guy who's just like, your film fucking sucks. Get you on here to this shit
That
talking.
would be really exciting, though.
Oh, really? I don't know.
That
That
would
would
be fun.
content-wise, it might be good.
Half the things people say I agree with. They're like, that looked cheap, and I'm like, yeah, a little bit.
It's cheap, but it worked.
Yeah.
No, definitely
yeah,
worked.
I can take a hit or two.
You were in a film festival. There was a big film festival, so I mean, that's a huge pat on your back. So
I'm very happy.
Yeah, so make sure that you reach out to Kay whenever you get your next project done, or let me know. And,
I was planning on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good friend of the show too. She was on here, and I think she's coming on again later in October to talk about Salem Horror Fest for next year. So I'm excited.
Wonderful.
So yeah, she's a friend of the show, and she's awesome. So I can't wait to see what's in the future for everybody. And Eric, thank you so much for being here and talking and putting some time aside to come chat with little old me.
Oh, it was very easy. It was my day off. So easy. Easiest day in the world to do this.
Oh yeah. And I will make
Yeah.
sure to send you that list as well. So it was awesome. So thank you everybody for listening, and please go check out The Last Thanksgiving. It's on Tubi if you don't want to spend money, but I highly suggest that you give Eric some money. So go rent it.
The Blu-ray, the making of on the Blu-ray is longer than the movie itself. It's a very informative making of if you're into that sort of thing, and the commentary too.
Yes, anything that can give you money or any kind of funding for your new film, do it.
But Tubi also pays too. Like, go see it on Tubi. It's easy, and it has the right color correction, so I like that. Yeah, thank you everybody.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening, and please go support indie filmmakers like Eric, and I will be talking to you and seeing you guys later. Thank you.